and thank you for joining me here today at Why the Book Wins. My name is Laura, and today is going to be part book review for Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and also part book collection video because at the end of this I'm going to show off my new Suntup Press edition of Dark Matter. And now I absolutely love Suntup Press editions. They are one of the most incredible publishing houses that I have come across. They just have incredible illustrations and the paper is such high quality and it's high quality binding and they're just amazing. Plus they're great. They're a great investment because they appreciate really well over time. So if you bought one and wanted to resell it down the road, you could make money on it. And I currently own 3 Suntup books. I would love to get more. They have a new Stepford Wives edition coming out later this year, which looks really amazing. But I have Misery by Stephen King, which is one of my all-time favorite books. And my Suntup Press edition of Misery is so incredible. It is one of the books I am most proud to own. It is fantastic. I have a whole video for that book too. I also have Suntup Press edition of A Scanner Darkly by Philip K. Dick. I've never shown that off on the channel, I don't think. I did an Instagram post about it a few months ago, but maybe I'll do a follow-up video or a YouTube short showing off those illustrations because those are incredible as always when it comes to Suntup Press. But yeah, so I read Dark Matter in January and I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't a 5-star read, which we'll get into why, but I still loved it enough that I wanted to own a copy of it. And when I saw that Suntup Press had an edition, I could not resist. Also, I Am Legend has a Suntup Press edition, which I want to get so bad. I was choosing between Dark Matter and I Am Legend, and ultimately I went with the Dark Matter book, but I would still love to get the I Am Legend Suntup Press. But anyway, so on to my book review for Dark Matter. So on Instagram, I asked people to give me recommendations for like WTF kind of weird books, and someone recommended Dark Matter. And this was definitely weird as in like a mind bending, being like, wait a minute, what's going on? Kind of. It's not time travel, but kind of in a time travel way, right? When you read a book or watch a movie that deals with time travel, you're just like, wait a minute, I need to get my head around what's going on. So it doesn't deal with time travel, but it did kind of have that kind of feel of like trying to understand a time travel movie. And so I would definitely recommend this to people who enjoy sci-fi, who enjoy just like I said, like the weird books that you're like, whoa, what is going on right now? And it's not creepy or scary or disturbing. So it's not weird in that sense. It's just like weird, like I said, in like a time travel kind of way. And I can't get into the details. I'll be getting into spoilers later, but for now it's spoiler free. And I can't like really get into too many details because the huge thing that's going on in this book, it is a spoiler to say what that is. But the element thing he has going on, I thought Blake Crouch executed so well. I thought it was so well done. And yeah, I thought the character development was great. We have one main character who we are following primarily, and I also love the relationship he had with his wife, and there is one scene in particular that I just thought was so beautiful and so touching, and this definitely is like a romance. It's not a romance in the sense of like being a chick flick, but the romance is a key part of this book, which I wasn't expecting, but I really enjoyed that. So yeah, without getting into spoilers and without getting into details, I would recommend this book. I really enjoyed it. It was quite the page turner. I was always wanting to know what was going to happen, and I loved the ending. I thought that was really well done, and like I said, just the whole theme of what was happening was really well executed. One of my critiques, which I talked about in my wrap-up, my January reading wrap-up, is that like the message of this book is how you shouldn't take life for granted and you should appreciate your family and, you know, enjoy the precious moments and not take it for granted. And he like came back to that time and time again, and it wasn't subtle at all. It was so like in your face and so obvious and like repeated again and again. So that came on a bit strong. So I wish he had done it with a bit more subtlety and nuance rather than just being so blatant and obvious, which is funny because another book I read in January kind of had that theme as well. Spoiler alert, the hero dies. A theme in that book is appreciating the people in your life and not taking them for granted and enjoying the time you have with them. And so the messages of both of these books are kind of similar, but spoiler alert did it much better. And spoiler alert was just very touching and it really affected me in a deep way. And the message of the book just like really stuck with me and it didn't come across as like, you know, trying to shove this message down our throats or something. Whereas yeah, Dark Matter, it was just so blatant and so, I don't know, brought up again and again. So it was interesting. Both of these books are so different, spoiler alert and Dark Matter. But yeah, they both have that same message they're trying to tell. But spoiler alert just executed that message so much better and in a more impactful, deep, meaningful, poignant way than Dark Matter did, in my opinion. But yeah, we're just gonna get into spoilers now because I feel like I can't say too much, trying to keep it spoiler free. So getting into spoilers, the multiverse aspect of this was so well done. And if you have not seen Everything Everywhere All at Once and you like Dark Matter, you should watch Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that is obviously a multiverse movie. And both that movie and this book executed it so well. And the ending, when he realizes how there are so many different iterations of himself that were kidnapped and then tried to come back to his wife, and so there's all of them there at that final stage. I did not see that coming. I didn't even think about the fact that there were multiple versions of him trying to get back to his wife, and how that dilemma where it's like the narrator, he's like, man, how is it up to me? Like, why do I deserve her, right? Because all these other men are also me, and they're all desperate to get home to their wives, and it is their wife too, right? So just so complicated right there. And I thought it was just so well done. But I also loved how she was like, you're the one that came up with the idea to, get arrested and call me at the police station. And we ended up being together. So I think that's a sign that shows that you and I are the ones that should stay together. So I thought that was just really beautiful. But another scene that I found really touching was when he first is in the universe where he created the cube. And so he's supposed to be this big, smart, hotshot guy. And he meets up with his wife, although she isn't his wife in this universe. In this universe, she is a successful painter, but they had known each other. Anyway, he meets up with her and she has this amazing art exhibit, and then they go back to her apartment and he ends up telling her and the other guy like this isn't me. I'm another version of me from another, alternate reality. And just the day or two he spends with her as he shares with her their life together in this alternate reality. And just, I thought those scenes were just so beautiful and so touching. And I just really loved those scenes in the book. And then of course, in that reality, she dies, which was so sad. But another thought I had was how, I'm forgetting all of their names now, by the way, but when he escapes that reality and he's with the lady who works for the cube, for him at the cube, and the two of them go out together trying these different universes. I want to read about a universe where the two of them fall in love, right? Because I kind of thought that would happen. I was like, what if he just falls for her instead and is like, I don't want to forget my wife. I'm just going to go with her instead now, I guess. But I liked how he was so persistent in wanting to find his wife and that true love aspect. But yeah, part of me was kind of wanting him and this other woman to fall in love, right? After this shared experience, she writes him a note saying, I can't help but feel connected to you because of what we're experiencing together, right? And obviously at the end, he and his wife and his son get to experience it together as well. So he gets to have that shared experience with them. But yeah, I'm sure there's an alternate version of him that stayed with that lady and that the two of them fell in love, right? And there's an alternate universe where that's happening. But one of my other complaints though is the section when he becomes homeless, and then when he gets money, he spends it on alcohol, and part of him is like the life in the cube and getting back to my wife, it just feels so distant, and I'm just gonna stick with this life and I'm just gonna be a homeless person and forget everything and drink. That part was too cliche, and I just did not think that was well executed, because I did not for a minute think that he was actually gonna stay in that universe and just be homeless. And just the homeless aspect and spending his money on alcohol and just, I don't know, it was just so cliche. So I didn't think that was well written, and I wish he would have written it in a way that made me believe it, right? Where I think for a second wow, this is how the book is gonna end. He's just gonna give up. I wanted to believe it, but I didn't. And so I was just clearly he's not gonna stay at this point. So let's just move on to him trying to get back to his wife. So my biggest two complaints are that homeless scene, as well as hammering home the message of appreciate what you have kind of a thing. But overall, like I said, I really loved this book. And I did like the romance aspect of him wanting to get back to his wife. I also like the end, how they have their son choose what door they walk through. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I guess that wraps it up for my spoiler thoughts on this book. And I have already filmed the clip where I look at the Suntup Press edition. And when I filmed that was also my first time seeing the book, because this came in a couple days ago, but I hadn't even looked at it yet, to be honest, because I just hadn't. So when I filmed that clip was my first time seeing the pictures, and the illustrations are incredible, such amazing colors. And I love too, Folio Society and Suntup Press, all of these editions where they get illustrators for these books. I just love how the illustration style always fits so well with the book, right? My Grapes of Wrath, sorry, it's right here, Grapes of Wrath. The artist style just fits with Grapes of Wrath, and then same with Dark Matter. The way it's drawn, the style just fits the book so well. So I love how they do that. But yeah, amazing edition. So happy to own it. And I hope you guys enjoy checking it out.
Sorry about
that Band-Aid. But anyway, this is the slip cover case thing the book comes in. Here is the book itself already. Absolutely gorgeous. Amazing colors. I love it when the book itself also is something more unique than just a plain black book, right? So, and the cube is also very fitting for this book. I haven't read the introduction yet, so we'll have to do that sometime. So cool. Wow, this is a really cool one. My nail polish kind of matches this picture. And I think that was it. So yeah, this was my first time looking through this. I believe that was all of the illustrations, but this book also smells really good. But yeah, so amazing. Really liked this book. So happy to have this incredible edition. Man, I just love this cover. All of the illustrations were so amazing though. So yeah, so happy to own another Suntup Press. This is my third one and I love them so much. I want to buy more of their editions. And that wraps it up for my video for Dark Matter and Suntup Press. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below if you have read this book and what you thought of it. By the way, it is being adapted into a TV show starring Jill Egerton and Jennifer Connelly, so that will be cool. I don't love that it'll be a TV show because I prefer movies, but I will probably watch it and we'll see if I do a video on it or not. We'll see. That would be cool though, but I think it's going to be like an 8-episode show, so it's not going to be crazy long. So anyway, thank you guys for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.